And we welcome you to Dodger Poke Report for the next edition of Dodgers Down on the Farm, High A Great Lakes edition. This week we have a very special guest, hitting coach for the Loons, Dylan Nasiatka, joins Dodger Poke, and he talks all about the Great Lakes Loons and all the wonderful talent on this year's roster and the talent they have on it right now. But before we do, we're going to talk a little bit about the series last week with Fort Wayne, the 6-game series that the Loons split 3-3. So with that split, the Loons now are still in second place in the Midwest League behind Dayton, and they are 7.5 games behind them. Diego Cartaya has hit .417 since he has been promoted, the number one Dodgers prospect in the entire organization. Kind of a neat thing that happened over the weekend. Saturday night, Juan Zabala got traded to the Padres, and Fort Wayne is the high A affiliate of the Padres. So Juan Zabala actually went into the clubhouse, said goodbye to his teammates. He said goodbye to his coaches. He took all of his stuff, and then Sunday he went into the other dugout for Fort Wayne. So kind of an interesting deal, and good luck to him. Juan Zabala was fun to watch while he was with the Loons. Alex DeJesus has hit .273 since he got called up. But from the regulars who have been with the Loons for the entire year, Imanol Vargas has been the best offensive player in the last month. No doubt about it. He has the highest average. He leads the team in OPS as well at .889. Johnny DeLuca leads the Loons in home runs. He's actually tied for the organizational lead in home runs with 13. And the Loons have a huge 6-game series this week with the first place Dayton team that is 7.5 games above them. So if they went on a 6-game sweep, they could leave next week only a game and a half back. So this is a big series this week coming up with Dayton. So if you haven't got your tickets, if you're in the area, make sure and make plans to check out a couple of those games and watch the Loons. The Loons, I believe, right now have more top 30 talent on their roster than they've had in quite a while. So make sure and check out the Loons if you can. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the hitting coach for the Loons, Dylan Nasiatka, and let's let him tell all about this year's roster and all the great players that the Loons have.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent in this group. There's a lot of excitement. They all bring their own, like I said earlier, kind of skill set. DeJesus, he's got game-changing ability. He's got extreme just work ethic is fantastic. His focus is incredible. And at any moment, he's going to come up with he could come up with a big extra base hit for you. Eddie's is another guy, a lot of excitement there. If you make a mistake, he'll make you pay. At the same time, he's he's dynamic, and he's got really just lightning quick hands. Vivas, absolute fantastic control of the zone. He great ability to contact baseball and play too, and he's a guy that every day you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the same guy. He's going to go out there and give a really professional effort every night. Max Hewitt is Canadian-born, which is kind of funny for OK State player. But, Hewitt's great. He's a guy that's just getting his feet wet at the affiliated baseball. And he's already made some nice adjustments. He's figuring out, what the league kind of offers, as well as like how he can best mesh into that. Imanol Vargas for us is a guy who's been swinging the bat really well. He's last year, I think, opened some eyes in Rancho. I think he hit 17 home runs last year. And this year, off to a slow start early. Lately, he's really turned it on.
Last month has been amazing, hasn't it?
It's been incredible. He's really controlled the zone well. And another guy that you make a mistake and he can make you pay. So that infield it's very dynamic in a lot of different ways. These guys, they work really hard. They're really focused. They mesh really well. They're great guys to work with.
Your outfielders, Johnny DeLuca is tied for the organizational lead in home runs for 13. I hope I don't leave one off, but if I do, just correct me and go ahead and add them in at the end. Jose Ramos, who just recently got moved up, what a dynamic player he is. He made one of the greatest catches I've ever seen about a month ago. And then Edwin Mateo, Ismael Alcantara, and Aldrich DeJong, which I got to see in Oklahoma City for about a week last year. I call him the lightning bolt because watching him play is like a bolt of lightning. So talk about your outfielders.
Yeah, that's another great group. And it's kind of cool. Like at the affiliate here, I help with a lot of the defense with the outfielders. So it's really fun to get to see the intent those guys put into their ground ball work, their fly ball work. These guys get after it. So I guess kind of just the guy that comes to mind, starting with like Alcantara, absolute exciting player. He's got a really high motor. He busts his butt down the line in the outfield. He takes really good routes. He's really aggressive. Then you've got Ramos, who's got one of the best throwing arms that's in professional baseball. Like you mentioned, he has the ability to make the big time highlight play, both with his arm and with the bat. Another guy that if he gets a good pitch to hit, can really elevate the baseball and send it a long way. Edwin Mateo, he's another kind of really consistent. You know what you're going to get every day. He's going to show up. He made a fantastic play yesterday
to end the game.
Yeah, Kyle Hertz, 5-inning no hitter, ball in the gap. We couldn't believe it. It was a perfect route, perfect play.
Made it look easy, didn't he?
He did, yeah. And switch hitter, a guy that probably doesn't get enough.
Oh, I didn't realize he was a switch hitter. Okay, very good.
Right, yeah. Left-handed thrower, but switch hitter doesn't really get enough recognition, I think, for what he does. He's very baseball savvy. He gets on base a lot, and he's got some pop in his bat too. And then DeLuca's just the guy. He's kind of the total package. He's a plus runner. He's got a good arm. It's very accurate. He's got a ton of pop in his bat, ridiculous pop in his bat. So he's a guy that as he's kind of adjusted with the league too, I think we're going to see some good things from him here shortly.
Yeah, and then let's go to your catcher spot, and of course the recent promotion of the Dodgers' #1 prospect in the entire organization, Diego Cartaya. Another guy that I really like, I've had a chance to feature, is Ryan January. I call that the January journey, because when you look into his story, it's an amazing, some of these minor league stories are so amazing if you actually dive into them. So Ryan January, and then Juan Zabala, who you had, I guess you had for about 2 weeks. He's back down, I believe, on the developmental list. And then Kekai Rios, I think I'm saying that correctly, but Kekai Rios, the Hawaiian as well, from your catcher spot. So talk about your catchers.
Yeah, so Kai's name is Kamalai Okekai. All right, I think I said it right. I believe it means Prince of the Sea.
Very nice.
Yeah, he's
only here on Dodger Poke do you get that kind of stuff, right? That's fantastic.
He's a great guy. So, Kai Rios is a guy that he's come into the organization and just absorbed information, both on the hitting and the receiving and defensive side. And he's done a great job behind the plate. He's tough as nails. All of our catchers are really, really tough. Zabala, this is kind of a funny story, was just traded to the Padres.
Oh, really?
So he was traded on Saturday night, and so he came in on Saturday night. We all said goodbye to him. He grabbed his stuff, and he walked to the other clubhouse. And on Sunday, he was in the other dugout.
I've seen that a time or two, and that is the weirdest thing, isn't it?
It was. And he's just a fantastic guy. We wish him well. He was here with us all year, just doing everything possible to help everybody out in the pitching staff. And so he's a great guy. We wish him well. January, of course, has just fantastic thump in his bat, big time hitter, a guy that behind the plate does a really good job communicating with the pitching staff and works his butt off with receiving. And, he's a guy that's always another one that's just one bad pitch away from putting some runs up on the board for us. And then, Cartaya coming in. I was fortunate to have him last year for about 40 games, I think. And he's kind of the total package. He communicates really well with the pitchers, with the staff, with, as a hitter, he's just as dangerous as can be. He's got a real presence to him in the box. And so he's just really, really exciting. They're all really exciting. They're great. It's a great group. and can't say enough about the catchers.
Wanted to finish it up by talking about your manager, Austin Chubb. I'm sure he is just a joy to work for. I got a chance to talk to him. Very impressed with him. So talk about getting to work with Austin Chubb.
Chubb he's amazing. The same energy every day. He makes you feel great about being at the yard. He's going to make you laugh. He's going to be very, very prepared, whether it's the pitching matchups, whether it is the hitters that are hot versus the hitters that are not. He's got great observations for the hitting. He's works his butt off. He's in the cage. He's out on the field. He's moving around. Fights for his guys. He's always, just on point with everything. So he's been so great to have here. I've learned a ton from him. He's been in the organization, I think, now for this might be his 9th year, 8th or 9th year, and he's got a ton of information. He has a really great background. He's spent a lot of time working with a lot of international players and has
he coached a summer in the DSL.
He did, yeah. And then he was in Puerto Rico this last year as bench coach.
Yeah, he was. That's right. Yeah.
He has a lot of useful, helpful nuggets there, and but he's hilarious. Yeah, he's just a great guy to be around.
And Great Lakes puts off a great environment, don't they? That's a fun place to play.
It is, yeah. The staff here, the general manager, from the general manager on down, everybody here is top notch, really professional.
Want to give a big shout out and thanks to hitting instructor, hitting coach for the Great Lakes Loons, Dylan Nasiatka, for the time that he spent with Dodger Poke. That was part of the interview we did. For the full interview, just go to the Dodger Poke Report YouTube page. The full interview will be there. It talks all about his background as he grew up in Bakersfield, California. It talks about his college days, how he became a Dodger, some of the things that he did as a Dodger before he came to the Great Lakes Loons. So for the full interview, just go to the Dodger Poke Report YouTube page, and it will be all right there. I'm glad that you tuned in to the next edition of Dodgers Down the Farm, and I hope that you log on to DodgerPokeReport.com on the internet, and I hope that you visit Dodger Poke on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. This will be a podcast, so go to your favorite podcast streaming service of your choice, search Dodgers Down on the Farm. That's Dodgers Down on the Farm. I'm sure you could find it if you search Dodger Poke Report too, but search Dodgers Down on the Farm and become a subscriber. That way, every time Dodger Poke Report releases a new Dodgers Down on the Farm podcast, you will be notified and you will never miss a thing from Dodger Poke. As always, thanks for tuning in, and go Dodgers.